Hi, this is Phil Potempa, and welcome to another edition of Notoriety. And each week we bring you everything you want to mark on that calendar, what's not to be missed, everything happening that is the hottest ticket in town, Northwest Indiana, Chicago, and beyond. And of course, this is the equivalent of all the columns and stories you'll read in print editions of the Post Tribune and captured under Chicago Tribune Media, everything at chicagotribune.com. We couldn't be here from our beautiful studios here at WJOB, the Strachan Van Til Studios, coming to you from Hammond on this Thursday. I should mark the calendar, Thursday, June the 5th, 2025. In case you're hearing a rebroadcast, you know exactly when we first captured all this information and these interviews. And it's because of our generous sponsors, People's Bank, the Legacy Foundation, Indiana Arts Commission. They make this broadcast possible these past 8 years. And we certainly do have a lot to pack in for our next 20 and 25 minutes. We're here in our studios. We come to you. Some of you have the advantage of the cameras and streaming. You found us maybe on social media. You'll see that it looks awfully fun here with the treasure trove that surrounds me, including my co-host, who is the true treasure. Karin Maravilla is with us once again, and you've certainly hosted many a show on WJOB Jed TV. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Throughout our segment, we'll be hearing about some, first of all, scoop and some big news that she has geographically, and then we'll see some of the fun finds that she has that you could add to your own collections. And on our couch, we'll be visiting with our friends from Footlight Players. But first, on our phone lines, I've been waiting for this all week to visit with the wonderful, wonderful entertainer, actor Hilary Ann Feldman. She's bringing her one-woman show. It brings us the life of Audrey Hepburn to the stage at the Center for Visual and Performing Arts, presented by Theater at the Center. Performances all throughout next week, starting on Wednesday. So our second week of June is going to bring Audrey Hepburn and her legacy to our stage, 1040 Ridge Road. She's on the phone lines to tell us a little bit more about Audrey and me. Tell us a little bit more about my fair Audrey, Hilary. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure. So Audrey Hepburn, I actually was introduced to Audrey not as an actress. My mother volunteered for UNICEF when I was a child, and Audrey had designed some greeting cards. And so my first introduction to Audrey was through UNICEF. And then later I learned that she was an actress and a fashion icon and all the rest of it. My parents were both children of World War II. They're both English. And I felt a connection to her and her story right away. Her life is really bookended by UNICEF. She was a child in occupied Holland during the war, and was really saved after liberation. She and many others were saved by the forerunner to UNICEF. And she really made a commitment to that organization from the time she was a teenager.
And I'm gonna have our producer make sure he floats. There's a wonderful photo of you that we've been using for our promotions. That's you front and center there on stage. And I want to just toss out, you will not be alone on that stage besides the beautiful grand piano, correct?
That's correct. Becky Menzie will be joining me. She and I have been performing together since 2007, I think.
Wow.
And she's an amazing pianist, but she's also such an incredible musician and such a great storyteller.
And I love, Hilary, you always you'll always draw me in and you'll clarify for me. You'll say, yes, there is the razzle dazzle of Hollywood. There's Breakfast at Tiffany's. There's My Fair Lady. Your performance really will take us into the personal life of Audrey. So it's not just all the razzle dazzle, right?
Right. It's really about her, the person, and less about her career. Of course, her career is part of her person, but yeah, it's really about her life rather than her career.
And the performances go all the way through June 11th, all the way until Saturday, June the 14th. So it's all next week, some afternoons, some evenings as well, and music. So that's sort of the threads of the fabric that kind of combine the two with some of the favorite songs. Can you at least tease us with one musical number, something that we might hear? Tell us one.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, for sure you'll hear Moon River and some My Fair Lady selections, but maybe not in the way or in the context you expect to hear them.
Oh, I love that tease. Karin, you've been after and saying, hey, this is one that's on your schedule to see, right?
Yes, this month is really busy for me, but no matter what I do, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to get in there and see this. I'm very excited.
And again, it goes quick. It's kind of a brisk, I know, with your timeline. When you go through, you hit the highlights, and again, there's going to be some moments where folks will say, I did not know that. Or, you've done your job later when they leave, and they're still talking about it in the car on the way home, right?
Yeah. For sure, I get that a lot. Oh, I never knew that, or I never knew that, or I'm glad you clarified this story about her, or something. Yeah.
And I know we don't have you too long on the phone, but we're going to have you all next week, which is great. And I want to thank the Times newspaper. I sent this to Hilary earlier. Front page of the A&E section, a wonderful spread, one woman musical dedicated to Hepburn. Right there's Hilary front and center. So we thank our friends at the Times who are partners here with WJLB as well for that coverage. I'm going to throw you a Larry King, Joan Rivers quick question before you have to go.
Okay.
Or did I dream this? That you also do a show that's dedicated to Carol Burnett, or did I dream that somewhere?
No, you did not dream that. I absolutely do, and I was fortunate in my research along the way to get to speak with her, and I actually spoke with her on the phone a handful of times throughout that process. It was quite incredible. Yes.
Well, we have to talk more than to see if there might be some more contracts and dotted lines for you to sign, Hilary. I'm just saying. We have all next week to spend together. Thank you so much for being. We've done just enough to tease them. Folks, My Fair Audrey, it's all next week. Theater at the Center for Visual and Performing Arts, Munster, Indiana. Hilary Ann Feldman will not disappoint. Becky will be right there on the piano as well. Afternoon, evening performances, and also the option of a wonderful dinner package for the lunchtime. That is on Wednesday. So if you like that, the folks at 1040 Catering will take care of you. Just call the box office, 219-836-3255, or you can always go online, www.theater, with the R-E, at thecenter.com. Choose your own tickets. You will not be disappointed. Hilary, rest up, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. Karen, we, again, try to bring a lot of different programming, and you're often in the seat at Theater at the Center, or Ladies of the Couch. Just so you know, sometimes when we're in a pinch and we need just the right prop, this is a good lady to know. Would you guess?
Yes.
If you're looking for just the right idea. So we're going to talk about Chronicles of Narnia. That's right along our friends to the east here, Footlight Players. But first, Karen, give us the scoop of the big news. It's hard for me to keep a scoop, but I'm letting you have the honors.
Thank you very much. So I've been in downtown Hammond. It's just serendipity since September 10th of 2009, and I am now moving into Paws Resale Shop, which is part of Humane Indiana. Three things that are really important to me are the arts, animals, and collaborating and helping each other on this planet. So it was the perfect move for me because I'm all about the animals, and they're all about the animals there. So people can donate things for their resale store, but then they also have vendors like us who are going to be renting space. So we'll also be helping the animals.
So great. That is so. What exciting news and a win-win, right?
It is, and I'm very sad to lose my location. I love my location. I love downtown Hammond, and people that know me think that sometimes I'm just about downtown Hammond, but that's where my parents took me shopping as a child, so I had special memories. But I love where I live. I love Northwest Indiana.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad that I'm able to stay in the area, and so I'm not closing. I'm just moving. So there's a lot of confusion about that, and I want to make sure people understand too that I'm not taking over in Paws. There's many vendors that are going to contribute to the success of Humane Indiana. So we hope you'll come and visit me there. And I want to give a big shout out to all my customers who have supported me. People like you have helped me spread the word. And then, of course, to Raimundo Garcia, because without him, this never would have happened. So he's a huge supporter of the arts and the community. So
absolutely.
I want to give him a very heartfelt thank you.
Do we have a timeline yet when we know you're there on property, or when there won't be the special Saturday afternoon or Sunday to come in and browse the Hammond spot?
Yes, so I am going to be at my downtown location through Sunday, July 29th.
Okay.
Not July, sorry, June 29th, which is right around the corner.
Okay.
June 29th. And I post my hours weekly, so you can shop with me. We're having huge 50 to 75% off sales. So if you're looking for gifts, perfect place to come. And then I'm already in Paws. So you can come and shop with me in Paws along with some other fabulous vendors. And I don't want to forget to tell everybody this. I always like to give you guys a little thank you because you're always so generous to have me join you. So I try to support other local businesses. Well, these yummies, I used to sell yummies like this in my store, are available at Paws Resale Shop. Honey and all kinds of good stuff. So this is, they're out of Chesterton, another small business. So you can get all these yummy things. So this is for you and your crew.
Oh, they will
so
certainly
always
enjoy
shop local.
this.
So that's for you. I wanted to make sure they knew that it's Paws Resale Plus. There's actually plants that you can buy there too.
Really? And before we're about to visit with our friends here at Footlight, but I know I see a Father's Day theme that could be going on here. So if you're still looking for Father's Day gifts, of course, there's always the opportunity of tickets and live theater. So we love that. Chronicles of Narnia could be I mean, if my fair Audrey could do it as well, but there's some fun retro things. So before we go to our next segment, do 3 for us here. What's your top 3 you're going to start with before we see the rest of this fun
top
parade you want to
3.
start with?
Well, who doesn't like music and cars if you're a guy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so isn't this cool? This is called Listen to Shutdown. You can almost smell the rubber burn. So,
Oh, look, he's zooming on there. So hold
Mm-hmm.
it nice and do your Vanna White pose
There
there.
we
And he's going
go.
to, right there it is.
so that's wonderful.
Classic vinyl.
Another thing.
See, you show candy and confections, the producers work even harder when they know that there's an
Yay.
incentive with Scooby Snacks here.
Yes, Scooby Snacks is one of my favorite sayings. So license plates. People love to decorate with them. Just put them on the wall or repurpose them. But I have all kinds of cool license plates, and guys just love the license plates.
Very good.
And then, going back to the kind of car theme, who remembers Dukes of Hazzard?
Oh, look at them. There they are.
Yeah.
Bo and
The invention
Duke,
of
Duke.
Daisy Dukes came
Yes.
from there.
That's right.
Exactly. Yes. So those 3 things to
those are
start to,
great.
to pique your interest for when we come back to me after we
Fun-
hear all about the arts over
fun
there.
vintage pieces that are conversation pieces. And again, I kind of hinted and I said earlier, well, we needed a prop, which we need one in July because we have the Late Night Catechism one-woman show coming with Sister leading. Where do you find an old-fashioned blackboard? This is a lady who has something like that. So just keeping in mind. Chronicles of Narnia, it's Footlight Players. We have a poster we're going to scan in here for the folks that do have the advantage of streaming here to see all the dates. But Debbie Bartholomew, go ahead and give me those dates and introduce our other fun couch guests.
I knew you were going to ask for the dates, and then I'd be in trouble, wouldn't I? We open tomorrow night, June 6th, 7th, and 8th. Then the second weekend is June 13, 14, 15, and the third weekend is 20, 21, 22. The performance is at 7 o'clock on Friday nights, and then it's Saturday and Sunday afternoon matinees at 2 o'clock.
Footlight Players, all slurred together.org is a way to go and get tickets online, correct?
Yes.
Or old-fashioned way. Is there an old-fashioned way? I know if you come to the door, you're sacrificing an intimate space where there may not be a seat, right?
You can call the theater at the theater's phone number, which I believe is there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can call the theater. You can make a reservation. When you come in, you can take care of it. You can now pay by cash, by check, or you can pay by credit card. We've moved up in the world.
Yes, you have. And in Chronicles of Narnia, this is not a production I see done very often because I'm betting it's rather involved. So introduce our guest as well we have here.
This is Kathy Chase, and Kathy Chase is my assistant director, and I'm the director of the show, and we've been working together for about 2 years.
So did you pick this production to do, or no, they needed somebody and they came to you and said, we need somebody to do this?
This
Chronicle
was
of Narnia."
mine.
It was yours. Okay.
I have read all of the Chronicles of Narnia, and I encourage people to get children, especially who have enjoyed Harry Potter or something, to consider these books. They're a little easier reading in some ways, but when C.S. Lewis was living during World War II, he had 4 children come live at his home to protect them from the bombings in London. And this is when his idea came that he wanted to write a fantasy for these children so they would have the opportunity to have some joy and move away from the darkness, and where the war in this, the good win and the evil do not. And so I've loved it. I have seen vignettes of it. I've never got to see the show anywhere else, so this one became my baby.
This is going to be
I
your
wanted
holy
to
grail
do it.
to do.
I was
Yeah.
going to do it in 2020, and COVID took care of that. So we came back, and when they put it in, I said, yes, I'll direct it.
And it's a cast of how many people, would you say?
20.
20.
So that's a good-sized cast.
Yes.
And to create that landscape of, and then the posters show us some sword fighting, and of course you've got to have all the period appropriate costumes and things. Do you do some clever lighting and things that are quick changes to go from scene to scene, or does it pretty much stay? This is our.
We're
our base
keeping
camp?
it. It does change a bit. We have flats that turn to get us to a couple of places. We have a few times where we have to move the wardrobe around because that's just a big part of the show. But for the most part, people are very quietly pulling things off and moving them. We have to change from winter to spring, and we do it with a dancer on stage and people moving things. So
I think of it, Karen and I are similar. I think 1970s when it was tagged because there was a TV special, "The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe." Remember when a lot of
Yes.
times they called it? This, of course, is the whole series. Who's playing? I have to ask, who's playing the Winter Witch?
A young woman named Nat Parkinson Kilborn,
Okay,
who is
all right.
much younger than I thought I would have play, but she has the character of this witch and the cackle to make your heart sing.
And is there an evil little gnome troll that's her sidekick in the show, or no? They
Her
don't have
evil
that?
gnome is not little. Neo is not a small person. Neo is a
A
it's
grown goblin.
teenager.
Grown goblin, huh?
But Neo is joyful and having fun with the role and all the crazy things.
The cast, were there a couple of people you had in mind that you thought, I hope fill in the blank comes to audition, or it was all organic, whoever showed up, and you two had to fine tune it down to who you wanted?
It had to be organic, and then we had to go looking at times.
You did.
We have so many conflicts with young people now who want to be in some of the shows that are done at the Holcraft Place.
Yeah.
And there's another spot where they're being done, and if they're there, they don't come do my show.
Sure.
So we pulled in, I think, 4 children who've never been in a show in their lives. And, there's some obviousness to it, but that's okay. Because that's part of the Footlight idea, is to bring people into the theater, to try new things, to learn to love it. If they don't do it again. But if they do, you see them return.
Footlight Players, Michigan City, it is hallowed ground, is in my opinion, and it's been around for about how many years, Jennifer?
This is our 75th season.
Only 75th, so I think you've learned a thing or
Kudos
two
to
around
you.
here.
Yeah,
And
we
our
were just
mothers, oh my gosh.
that we grew up together.
Yes.
Okay, so it's
Our mothers were very busy in it. My
Yeah.
mother started out with the organization.
Really,
she
this-
did,
Yeah.
and my mother used to be the ticket person who gets
So
tickets.
generation
Yes.
continues.
Yes.
Continues.
Yep.
Give us again the run for the dates, and maybe a poster up there will help us out there. So another variation of that
I know how to
poster
do
as
this.
well.
June 6, 7, 8. June, oh my gosh, sure. 13, 14, 15. And June 20, 21, 22.
So really, it takes us through our weekends throughout the month of June 2025. Footlight Players, always a very affordable ticket price. Around
Yes.
what for students? It starts at, I'm sure it's a
I
probably
would say,
$10 ticket for a student or a young
well, that's
person.
a very good question.
That's a very
Yeah.
good question.
Oh, that's evil.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I
Yeah.
haven't taken.
I haven't paid attention to that, but I know for adults it's 17.
17,
And
yeah.
if people become patrons and get a patronage, it's 5 tickets for $60, which is $12 a piece.
And it'll be listed in my column, the Post
Yes.
Tribune, Chicago.com,
Okay.
so you'll be able to easily find it. Or on that website, footlightplayers.org.
Players.org.
.org
Yes.
is key.
And you can also find us on Facebook.
Gare, where they're talking about the giant wardrobe that toggles for them. I keep thinking of all the fur coats that the kids put on. You have a lot of vintage fur coats that used to be in your stock quite commonly, right, from estate sales and things?
Yes,
Right.
actually, a lot of people find me because they're either downsizing. We get a little bit older, we think we don't need as much stuff, or family members pass away, and you want to keep everything, but you can't. So then
Can
they
they
sell
still
to me.
do this even with the new environment, and you'll come and take a look, or
Yes,
yes,
they can. They
Good.
can contact me. And another good thing to remember is that Paws accepts donations. So you must call though, and to make sure that because they have only so much area to take it in. But definitely keep Paws in mind. It's a wonderful way to donate to the community. But yes, and if you're interested in selling, I not only myself, but I also share it with other fellow vendors
Okay.
who might need one to purchase.
It's Just Serendipity has a history. We just talked 75 years. How many years, though, for It's Just Serendipity?
September 9th will be 16. I'll be sweet 16.
I was going to say, I thought you were on the other side of 15. So you've got a bit of a history. I bet you over those years at some point, did you ever see A Lion, Witch, and a Wardrobe book cross your hands, or Chronicles of Narnia, a part of the book volumes?
I did not, but I love to read, so I'm having a big book sale, by the way, because
good.
there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
So I love to read, but I haven't seen those, but I've seen lots of other ones.
I bet.
And some
I-
fun first editions.
Well, remember, I think I bought from you Charlie the Chocolate Factory,
Yes.
a beautiful first edition as well.
One of them was for your sister? Or?
Yeah, exactly. You've got a good memory. Give us our next 3 fun things that we have here.
Okay,
What do you
well,
wanna
let's
pick?
see. We've already talked about Dad. I want to make sure we don't forget that ladies also love to wear fun things. Like we have all kinds of vintage jewelry, from just classic flower to lots of bling, and then we also have a lot of fabric and sewing things. There's Joann's and some places are closing, so if you need that kind of thing, come and check me out. And then this is going back to the 80s. And
fun.
this is new old stock, meaning it's vintage, but it's never been used. It is a towel from, who remembers? Donkey Kong.
the video game
I don't know if
Donkey
you can see it
Kong.
well, but it's
And
a
the beach
really
towel.
cool beach towel.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Can any of us believe that now when we talk to younger folks like our producers that are in the engineer room, we have Joe and we have Lucas in there. Anybody that's in WJB, usually young stock from Purdue. When we describe things that were happening in the 1980s to this generation, it's the equivalent when we were growing up in the 70s or so, and our aunts and uncles were talking about things happening in World War II. That doesn't seem possible that it could be the same
I
time
was like,
span.
we're not that old,
I know,
right?
It just seems absolutely
math is wrong.
impossible. Are there things that are also coming up at Footlight Players that we should toss out once this wraps? What's next?
Well, I should have brought them all in, but we are going to open in the fall with the musical The Bluff. And I don't know about you, but I don't know a lot about it, but I'm really curious.
Yeah.
Because I've not heard of The Bluff.
Yeah.
So it's something new and interesting, just like Narnia is not well known. And I hope you'll consider coming out and seeing it. Anthony Holt's going to direct it.
It's a
And
musical, by the way.
It is a musical, by the way.
Musical, right.
Yes.
And
that's what intrigues me.
Narnia is or is not?
It is a
That
musical.
is
It
musical.
also
Yes,
is a musical.
Yes,
and
it
where
is.
do you put musicians, or is it tracks?
We have a track.
You have track,
I had
okay.
hoped to have an accompanist, but that didn't work, so we're
Okay.
doing a track, and it has been a big learning experience.
Oh, amen. I've been in for 75 years, and nothing has prepared me for,
For
this.
this. That's
Nothing.
right. And you've
But-
got a home on it. It'll go by like this, but I bet you'll have
Yeah.
fun on the roller
Oh,
coaster.
You do it for fun.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yes.
For anybody that's not ever been out to Footlight Players, here's your chance. Spend some time, do a quick road trip for just a day. You'd be surprised from anywhere in our Northwest Indiana, if you're Crown Point or anywhere, you're going to get there in about 35, 40, 45 minutes. Expressway is usually always moving pretty well going that way east. You get right there. It's so easy. It's right along the main strip. You can call it Highway 421 or Franklin Street as you get farther and closer right down to the lake. On the way, do a little shopping. You can stop and see the new home of Karin that is at Paws, right on Indianapolis Boulevard?
Kennedy.
On Kennedy,
Yes.
Kennedy. So you want to make sure you drop in and see some of the fun vintage things, and you will not be disappointed. It's kind of like a staycation. Get away and do something that's right here, all very affordable. Couple more fun things as we close out here, Karin. What have you got here?
Well, I'm going to tell you about a couple things. In addition to being in pause, I'm also going to be doing select vendor markets. So there's one coming up with Humane Indiana called Paws in the Park on Saturday, September 20th. So if you're a vendor, and if you love the dogs, you're an animal lover, or you are a party animal, there's live music, 3 Floyds, vendors. So save the date for that. And then there's a new one coming up called Fuzzy Line Flea with Fuzzy Line Brewery, and that's going to be on July 19th. So that'll be fun. There's brewery and cocktails involved with both of them, which is
you
fun.
are good about keeping up everything on your Facebook, too, aren't you?
Yes,
Is it
Facebook and
good place?
Instagram.
And Instagram,
Under
okay.
It's Just Serendipity. And then I also wanted to mention that I also do staging and props.
Oh,
So like in Fiore and True Eats and Drinks in Calumet Avenue by the hospital, I have staged and decorated in the bar.
those
So
are your pieces.
Those are mine, yes.
Oh, wow.
So I do things like that. So I
I've
wanted
been
to
there
get
and
people
didn't even
know.
that is great. Yeah, that's kind of a hidden gem secret Easter egg I did not know about. There's other fun pieces that if you're on the radio, we're describing them. This, what I call a tin dollhouse, that's certainly a vintage. That would come 50s or 60s?
Yes, and the reason that's really important is because I'm stressing to get out of the house,
Yes.
drop the mouse, shop small and local. So yes, our home is our sanctuary, and we love to be there. But do not sit on there. Please do not sit on there and shop online, because when you do that, you are robbing our communities of vibrancy, of businesses, of the connection of getting to know each other, and all the other income and things that is provided. I mean, think about it. It's going to be. This is a scary thing. It's
Yes.
stuck.
Look at this.
A ghost town, a scary,
Yes,
scary
that's
ghost
right.
town. If brick and mortars keep closing,
Yeah.
where are we going to go?
And people are already thinking Halloween, so if you're looking for special items and things for decorating or costumes, same concept. This is where to go. Same concept from online YouTube. Too many young people with their faces buried, where instead get out and see live theater, experience it, and you will not be disappointed. Anything else, if you're tuned in and you're streaming and you're seeing what's on the desk, it's for sale, with the exception of that Peach Dragon. My name's already on that one, so you're not allowed to have that. But anything else, please come and see Karin. Give us the address again.
I am at 5630 Homan Avenue in beautiful downtown Hammond, Indiana, until Sunday, June 29th. But I'm already in Paws Resale Shop. I have booth space along with another friend, Doug Jones from Neverending Treasure Hunt. So there's lots of things to shop, and that is on Kennedy Avenue in Homestead Plaza. It's 8149 Kennedy.
Perfect. And plenty of time to see Chronicles of Narnia, our friends at Footlight Players.
Yeah.
Pretty much weekends all the way through the month of
first 3 weekends in June, and I want to make sure you understand this is a show for children and adults, not just one or the other.
Good. That's
It is
important.
it is all range of ages.
Oh, I saw sword
read the
fighting.
books.
So
They're
yeah,
great.
the books come to life from page to stage, I like to say. Footlight Players altogether.org, right? And I
Correct.
see it right there on the screen. And finally, I'll do a nod for our friend Hilary, who joined us earlier, Hilary Ann Feldman, for the My Fair Audrey run. It's a one-woman musical tribute to Audrey Hepburn. That's at Theater at the Center for Visual and Performing Arts, the entire week, starting on Wednesday next week, the 11th, I believe, and it goes all the way until Saturday. So Saturday, I think it might be June 14th. I don't know if I've got all the dates in there, but Wednesday through Saturday. And just a reminder, this is a rebroadcast. We're coming to you with this interview on June the 5th, 2025 at Stamp. Thank you so much to everybody for being here. What a fun
Thank you
show.
so much
It
for
went
having
too
us.
quick. Most of all, more importantly, please come back again, all right?
We will.
Thank
Thank
you.
I'm
will.
your host, Phil Potempa. Thank you to our producer, Joe. Thank you for Luke for helping out over the shoulder, and also to everybody out there for tuning in, be it listeners or viewers, to this edition of Notoriety. We'll be back again next week. Until then, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening.